In this video, we are going to talk about the real estate agent myths that you should stop believing. So stick around as we debunk some of these myths. So the first myth that if you are a real estate agent, you are probably already aware of, which is that real estate agents make easy money. Naturally, everyone thinks because of what Netflix and what Hulu and what all of these traditional TV shows or reality shows are marketing is that real estate agents get big checks, which is true. However, that it's very simple and easy to do so. We have seen more and more part-time real estate agents or new licensees that get into the business that think that it is as simple as posting on social media once or twice saying I'm a real estate agent, and the leads will come to you and you will all of a sudden be closing millions of dollars of real estate and also making millions of dollars while doing so. No one sees the back end of lead generation, of prospecting, of administrative work, right? Of time blocking. We know that oftentimes we don't get paid until the lead closes on a home, right? So it's not just, hey, I finally found someone that wants to buy or sell. We actually have to sell their home, or we have to represent them as a buyer. We have to find their home. We have to do multiple showings, weeks, months, years of showings before they go under contract, get them through the closing process until they get to the closing table. And that is finally when we make the sale. By the time you actually divvy out that hourly rate, it's not going to be as pretty as you think it's going to be, right? The average agent spends countless hours on tasks like lead generation, showings, paperwork, follow up, right? It is difficult to get off the ground. Now, I'm also not going to shy away that real estate agents, they do make a lot of money, right? They can. If you can scale your real estate business, you do have the opportunity to live a luxurious life, or a life that you have designed, or a life of giving away, or a life of giving back to your community, right? And so there is a world in which it is an accurate statement to say that real estate agents, if they are successful, they make a lot of money. However, the average real estate agent makes $50,000 a year in today's market. And so it doesn't come with all of the bells and whistles that you think. Do not let the TV shows fool you. It can be a vehicle for much success. However, at the same time, it is not super easy. All right, the next myth that I'm going to debunk is that you need to be extroverted to succeed. I love to debunk this myth because there are so many real estate agents out there that are successful that are not extroverted. And because they aren't extroverted, they don't share their experience, right? And so there are introverted people that could be great and successful real estate agents. They just don't know it because they feel like they need to be a natural salesperson or extroverted to do so. And that's just simply not true. Now, it is very helpful to be outgoing, right? It's very helpful. The more outgoing you are, the more people you traditionally meet, therefore, the more opportunity you are to sell. But what I love about introverts is that they oftentimes build deeper relationships than someone who is extroverted. They genuinely care more about their relationship and the intentionality in their conversation and how they want to be genuine and show genuine value to each person, that they oftentimes end up getting 3 or 4 times the amount of referrals from their clients than the extroverted agent who is all over the place, right? So I firmly believe that success comes from understanding clients' needs and offering value, not from being the loudest voice in the room. There are tons of real estate agents that are the loudest voice in the room, that when they enter the room, people shy away or roll their eyes, right? However, if you are an introvert and you are wondering if you could be successful at real estate, I would say you absolutely can. Like I mentioned, it may take a little bit longer for you to ramp up your real estate career, but at the same time, when you do, you're going to actually grow exponentially faster than someone extroverted if you're able to pour into those client relationships so that you can get 2, 3, or 4 more referrals or 4 more deals out of that one client that you've represented. The next myth that I am going to debunk is that you can set your own hours in real estate. While this is technically true on paper, I like to say that the more freedom you have, the more discipline that is required, which can be really difficult for some. If you are not a naturally disciplined person, I highly recommend getting some form of accountability in your life around the real estate career because it takes a ton of discipline. As I said in point number 1, or in myth number 1, we do not get paid until that home is closed. And it takes a ton of discipline to get to that point. I mean, you're talking through the client journey map, which is 1, just getting in touch with someone, then actually converting them to a consultation, then at the consultation, getting them to sign or agree to a relationship with us. right? And then at that point, we have to actually go see homes. Then they have to select the right home. If it fits within their timing and their motivation, sometimes it takes 6 to 12 months or longer. Then when they find the home, there's the negotiation, right? Maybe we lose out on a multiple offer situation. Then we have to start the process all over again of showing homes. Then we finally find one that they want. And then we, like I said, we negotiate, we go under contract. Now we have to get through the 30, 60, or 90-day closing process of inspections, of finance contingencies, of due diligence periods, right? And then we finally get to closing. That takes a lot of discipline to scale that. It's one thing to do 3, 4, 5, 6 transactions a year, but if you want to get to 12 to 24 to 36 plus transactions in a year, it's going to require a ton of discipline from yourself or from some form of accountability if you want to scale your business, right? Yes, you aren't tied to a true 9 to 5, which a lot of people enjoy, but a lot of people will get into real estate because they see the big checks and they say, oh, if I can only have 10 big checks in a year, then I would prefer to do that, right? But then they don't realize the amount of time and discipline that it takes to actually get to those 10 checks. Yes. And so you have to be comfortable with, while it's not a 9 to 5, you should probably treat it like one. Oh, and better yet, you also have to be extremely flexible and disciplined in the evenings and on the weekends, because that is where the majority of the real estate deals happen, right? If we are working with your traditional consumer who has a 9 to 5 job, they can't go see homes between 9 and 5. They have to see homes in the evening. They have to see homes on the weekend. Well, the weekends are when we do open houses. So there is a lot of business that has to be done after the 9 to 5 hours, which does suit some people's lifestyles, and they've become a successful real estate agent because they've done the majority of their work after a 9 to 5 or in the evenings or on the weekends. So we've got to figure out how to change our mindset from, you can set your own hours and I want to be a real estate agent or a successful real estate agent because of the flexibility. We've also got to understand that the more freedom that we have, or the more flexibility that we have, the more that discipline is actually required of us. Being your own boss sounds like total freedom, right? But clients and market demands often dictate your schedule. So just when you thought you are entering into the real estate space because you wanted more control over your schedule, you are now going to most likely be controlled by someone else's schedule, because you can't force someone to see homes when you want them to. It's when they want to see homes. It's when the market responds to an open house. You're not going to do an open house Monday morning at 10 a.m. unless your market demands that. But if your market responds better to an open house on the weekend, you don't need to waste your time by doing an open house on your time. You need to do it when the market requires it, meaning you need to do it when everyone is going to show up, which is on the weekends. So the client and the market often demand your schedule. There are some markets that we have to put 3 times the amount of work that we did in the previous market in order to hit our goals. We aren't in control of the market, but we're in control of the activity that we put in. And so sometimes, even though we've got a more flexible schedule, we have to create that discipline because the market and or our clients are actually demanding more time of us if we want to actually hit our goals. All right. The last myth that I am going to debunk is that you need years of experience to be successful. I talk with new agents all of the time, and they say the number one objection handler that they are handling is that you need years of experience to be successful. And we have got to change our mindset that it is not the number of years of experience that potential clients need. It is for their problems to be solved. Everyone that is buying or selling a home has either timing or motivation or a problem that needs to be solved. Whoever is going to solve that problem with the most amount of value and in the quickest amount of time is going to win that business. It does not matter how experienced you are. The seller or buyer doesn't even realize that that is just a tick that they have from watching the news, scrolling on social media, that of course I want someone with the most amount of experience possible. But when you dive into their timing, their motivation, you start to problem solve, you start to dig in, and you realize, and you help them realize what their actual problems are and how you can solve them better than your competitor who might have 30 years of experience. You've won that listing. You've won that buyer. You've got to change your mindset that it is more about problem solving and understanding and solving the problems around timing and motivation of a potential buyer or a potential seller that is going to allow you to scale your business. I highly, highly, highly recommend the book Gap Selling by Keenan. It explains how you can dig really deep into that first consultation or first phone call to uncover as much as you possibly can around timing, motivation, and problems so that you can dig into those problems so that you can solve them and be their go-to person when it is time for their problems to be solved. I've got here with the right training, mentorship, and dedication, new agents can thrive. If I could add in a bullet point there, I would say training, mentorship, right? I'm actually going to add in here the right headspace and dedication. New agents can thrive, or non-experienced agents that have a year or 2 years under their belt. You need to put yourself in a situation where you can continually train from those that are successful, right? We should always be in an environment where we are being coached, where we are figuring out and learning how to level up our skills so that we can learn from other people's homework and learn from other people's failures so that we don't make those failures, and so that we can exponentially grow our experience just by learning from others and what they've done and the mistakes that they've made and all of the solutions that they've created for other potential clients, right? You've got to have the right mentorship. You've got to have the right dedication. Again, going through these myths, this is not easy, but it can be rewarding. Most agents do not realize that we are more in control of our goals than we realize. We can't just start setting these random goals of 24 to 36 deals. We've got to break that down into the amount of activity that it's going to take, create an actual plan, and then apply our training, mentorship, the right headspace, and dedication to that plan so that we can be more in control of actually achieving those goals. All right, I hope that this video was valuable. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that we were able to debunk a few of the most popular myths around being a successful real estate agent. If you want more tips and tricks on how to scale your real estate business, check out the rest of my videos. If you have interest in jumping on a call so that I can go over with you how I can jump into your business to help you scale it so that I can customize and implement pipeline power plays, lead sources, and scaling systems into your business, both for you and with you, so that you are able to scale your business in the next 3 to 6 months. There is a link in the description below that links directly to my calendar. I would love to hop on a call, meet you face to face, and see how we can transform your business together. I'll see you soon.